Let's start with the lesson, okay? So we're doing flow diagrams today. I thought it was fitting to start with definitions. So a function, which is what we are defining in this case, is a mathematical relationship which connects any input to an output, okay? You may have heard them referred to as number machines, and that is what they are. Okay, you take a number, that's your input, you do some mathematical operations, times, multiply, square, whatever, and then you produce an output. So that's basically what we're going to be doing today. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Okay, and then, so if one variable is influenced by another, we say there is a relationship between these two variables. Okay, so you can sometimes work out which number is linked to a specific value based on your formula. So we're going to work with formulae as well and see if we can find which variables relate to one another. Okay, and our last one is a flow diagram shows what calculations are to be done to the input number to produce your output, which is what we're doing today. I'm pretty sure we have all seen flow diagrams before. Here is example number 1. So we're going to have to work out what A, B, C, D, and E are. Okay, so in a flow diagram, generally what we have in the middle here is our formula. Okay, so on the left here, we have our input values that we've been talking about. And on the right, we have our output values. Okay, so we will be inputting -4 to our formula. Okay, and then we'll see what the output will be. Who knows what B is? Oh, Chichi wants to take screenshots for a little bit. Okay, there we go, Chichi. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to take a screenshot. Karabo already has an answer for me. Beautiful, Karabo. Tell us how you did it. Hi, Buka, welcome. Zoom user also has an answer for us. Okay, we are doing substitution. If you remember, while we did substitution already when we were doing algebraic equations and expressions. So in this case, the one way we're going to find this out is to do substitution. So we're going to say from 9, we're going to input -4. Okay, let me first write this as a formula. As a formula, we're going to say y, which is going to be our output value, equals to 9x minus 7. Okay, so now in the place of x, over there, we're going to put our input values. Now, our first input is -4, so we will have to say y equals 9x means multiply, 9 times -4 minus 7. Now 9 times 9, 18, 27, -36 minus 7, and that is indeed -43. So that is how flow diagrams work, okay? You take the input, which is on the left every time, okay? You input and you produce the output. So we have worked out a B, and we said a B has to therefore be -43, because that is the output that corresponds with an input of -4. Let's work out C. How much is C? Anyone worked out C yet? I know, it's really easy, guys. Mpo says -16, so does Tando, so does Eddie. Okay. We've already done factorization, Oyama. You must check out the recordings on the website, okay? So with C, we're going to say it's 9 times. Our input for C is -1 minus 7. This will give us -9 minus 7, and that is indeed -16. You're welcome, Oyama. Okay, let's work out D. Who has an answer for D for us? There we go. So many people have an answer for D. So D is going to be, what is our input for D? It is 0. So we'll have 9 times 0 minus 7, which is 0 minus 7, which is negative 7. Wonderful. Now let's work out E. Does anyone have an answer for E for us? Eddie, do you have an answer for us or a question?
Ma'am, E is negative, 38. It's just 38.
Just 38. Okay, what was our input for E?
Was 5.
5. So we have a 5 minus 7. And what is 9 times 5, Eddie? It will be 45. If you subtract 7 from that, it is indeed 38. Okay, and Zoom user has already told us that A has to be 12. Tell us how you worked out that A is supposed to be 12. If our flow diagram going forward is 9x minus 7, then we would have to do the opposite. There we go. Lugue has said it, so it's inverse operations, right? So it would have to be the inverse operation. Hi, Zbahle. Welcome. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. I'm going to have to move this down to make some space so we can do our inverse operation. Okay. No, wait. There. This is not working out very well for me. There we go. Okay. So with A, we'll have to do the opposite, because if A is equal to, nope, never mind, sorry. This time we have our output. So then, instead of saying minus 7, we're going to add 7. And instead of saying times 9, we're going to divide by 9, right? So you're going to start with your output, which is 101. The opposite of subtraction will be addition, plus 7, which will give you, let me add it in brackets, and divided by 9. So that will be 108 divided by 9, which is 12. So therefore, A has to be 12. I saw someone ask me so nicely to explain. Please raise your hand so we can talk about where I have lost you.
Hi,
Eddie, hello.
So I just want to ask, if you did it directly, would you instantly get the answer, or would it give you something else?
What you mean without adding brackets?
Yes.
It will give you a different answer because of BODMAS, right?
Yes.
So it would say your calculator will first divide 7 and 9, and then it will say 101 plus 7 over 9, and that will not give you 12. You see that?
Yes.
So when you're doing the inverses, you need to add brackets. Okay, you need to add brackets so that you make sure that you first add before you divide. Thanks to BODMAS. That is a good question. Thank you, Eddie. Okay, I think Oyama is on with a question. Yes, Oyama. Oyama, you may unmute. There we go.
Miss, I wanted to ask, since, wait. Oh, so, Miss, I wanted to ask, all of this is going in grade 9 work, isn't this?
Yes, this is grade 9 work.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, the circular, what you call this, the flow diagram. I wanted to ask, explain how you do this, because I'm not good at maths.
Okay, Oyama, let's see. So do you see here where I wrote input? Yes. Here on our left of our flow diagram. That is where I have an X, and your output will be your Y. So you use the formula that is in the middle here, which in our case is 9x minus 7. Input means that's what you insert. So wherever you see an x, you have to put the numbers that are on your left, okay? So you're going to input the numbers that are on your left here, where you see an x, and then work it out. So once you punch it in your calculator, you do mental math or whatever, your output is what you put here in the block on your right. Do you see? So let's do one of them. Let's check out one of them. The first one, our input is -4. So there where there is x, what do I write?
You write -4 minus,
Negative
9
4.
and then -4, then -7.
Yes, but remember 9x means 9 times x, right? So if I put a -4 there, that means 9 times -4. That's why I added brackets. Do you see that?
Oh,
So we're not subtracting 4, we are multiplying it. So then a positive and a negative give you what?
negative.
Negative. What's 9 times 4?
9 times 4 is 37.
36, very close. And then we
36.
still have to subtract 7. So then what's -36 minus 7?
Is equal to 43.
-43. Do you see where we got that -43 for B?
Yes.
Because the B corresponds with an input of -4. Do you understand now?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, mulebogeng. After I explained now, do you feel a little bit better? Put your hand up. Let's hear what you have to say. Chichi, yes, Chichi?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I wanted to help you with the next sum, like the next
Okay.
question, because I actually love the flow diagrams. They're like my favorite thing in maths.
Thank goodness. I like to hear that. That's the stuff I want to hear.
But I'm not doing everything though.
That's
not doing
fine.
everything.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay,
It's
here we are. There's my next flow diagram. I'm gonna
so
move
for the first
here.
one, hold on, let me zoom in real quick. The cracks on my phone is blocking. Here we go. So the first one, -5. We take -5. No, actually, no, not -5. We take 3, open -5, and then to the power of 2, and that'll give us 75, ma'am.
To the power of 2, because -5 squares how much, Chichi?
It squares -25.
A negative and a negative give you what?
A positive. Actually,
There
no.
we go.
Yeah, positive.
So it's a positive 25, and that is indeed 75. So Chichi, tell me in our output side, 75 is equal to what?
75 is equal to the age, ma'am.
There we go. So this was H. Thank you. Do you want to do another one with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go for it.
3, open bracket, -2, close bracket to the power of 2, which is 8, equals 8.
Okay, but what's -2 squared first?
-2 squared is -4.
Chichi, remember negative times a negative?
Oh, negative times a negative is +4, sorry.
There we go.
So, ma'am,
And
I
then
have a question.
Yes.
So if we get a negative sum when we're doing like the part where it says 3 open bracket with 4, we just change the negative number to a positive.
No, but remember what square means. This square means you're squaring the whole bracket, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's not -2 times 2. No, it's 2 -2's. So you're saying
Oh,
a negative 2 times a negative 2. That's why your answer is going to end up being positive.
okay, ma'am. So if our number is positive, we get a negative for the
No.
answer.
If you have a negative in front, let's say you had a negative 3 there in front,
Yes, ma'am.
that will cause you to get a negative answer, because squaring, if you square a negative or a positive number, you will still get a
A
positive.
positive.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Someone said, is it a must to write the bracket? Yes, so that you know you are multiplying. Look what happens if I don't write the bracket. It's going to be 3 minus 2 squared. That looks incorrect, because then you're going to end up subtracting 3 from 2 squared.
I'm gonna
You
get a
see that?
0.
Exactly. So you're supposed to add brackets so that you know that it is multiplication. If you're substituting, always add brackets. So let's
Yes,
finish off Chi-Chi. What's 4 times 3?
ma'am. 4 times 3 is 12, ma'am.
It's 12, and that corresponds with which letter on our flow diagram?
I.
Beautiful. Do you want to keep going, or should I pick someone else?
Ma'am, pick someone else, but I do like this. This is my favorite part of mathematics, really.
I can tell, and I'm very happy that you like it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear what Tando has to say.
Hello,
Tando?
man.
Hello, Tando.
So we're doing J, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be 3 brackets, 3 brackets squared,
Hmm?
which then equals 27 now.
Okay, but let's not skip steps. That's 3 times
Yeah.
9, which is 27. And that's the letter
J.
J. Beautiful. Thank you, Tando. Do you want to do F, or should I give someone else?
Hey, ma'am, give someone else. I'm still working on it myself.
Okay, no problem. If you get the answer, raise your hand again. We'll do it together. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. The number in the bracket, where do we get it from? Where does it come from? It comes from the input side. Remember, this side is your input. Your left is your input, and the right is your output. So what you substitute or what you plug in comes from the input side. Okay, so check. The first one was a -5, which is indeed the first one on the input side. And then see, there it is over there. The next one was -2. That's what we inputted. The next one is a 3. That's what we inputted. Okay. Okay, Eddie. Eddie has a question. Let's hear. Yes, Eddie.
Okay, ma'am, I don't really understand how you would. I know you have to do inverse to get to F and G, but I don't seem to be figuring it out.
Okay, Eddie. Remember, this would be written as y equals 3x squared, right?
Yes.
So your output is that squared. So now you have your output. So where would you substitute it? Instead of substituting it at x, where would you substitute it?
At the 3.
Remember, we want to find out the input, which is x. What did they give us?
They gave us 243
Which is the
output.
There we go. It's the output. And which letter here corresponds with the output? It's definitely not X, right? Which one is it?
It's Y.
It's Y. So instead of substituting at X, you're going to substitute at Y. Because then you're going to have 243 is 3x squared. And remember, Eddie, we did inverse operations. First, we have to get rid of this 3. How do you get rid of this 3 in front of the X?
You have to put it over the other side, ma'am.
By
so
dividing.
Negative. Yeah.
By dividing. Remember, we're not adding, so you don't make it negative, you divide. So if you're timesing on the side, we have to divide on both sides so that these two can divide into each other. What's 243 divided by 3? I should probably have my calculator. Let me see. There we go.
It's 81.
81. Okay. So then you're going to have 81 is equal to x squared. How do we get rid of a squared? What's the inverse operation of squaring?
I don't remember this part, ma'am.
It's square rooting. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So you square root both sides. So then you have x is equal to, what's the square root of 81?
It's 9.
9. Do you see, Eddie?
Yes,
So
thank you, ma'am.
instead, if they give you the outputs, then you substitute it at the output part. If they give you the inputs, then you substitute it in the input part. That's what we're doing.
Thanks, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay. And then the last one, guys, the last one we have 675 is equal to 3x squared. Again, we want to get rid of that 3, so we divide by 3 on both sides, right? These 3's will cancel out. What's 675 divided by 3? 675 divided by 3, 225. Now we want to get rid of the square. So we square root. What's the square root of 225? That will be 15. Therefore, x will be equal to 15. And this 9, oh, I forgot to tell which letters they correspond with. Forgot to tell which letters they correspond with. Our 9 corresponds with number F, and 15 will correspond with G. Do we get this? I have a feeling I have a few questions, and I'm going to take those questions right now before we go to our brain break. Corresponds with G. Let's hear. Oratile, do you have a question?
Oh, sorry, ma'am. I wanted to answer this question, ma'am, but because you already did it, thank you, ma'am. It's fine.
No problem. Thank you, Oratile. How are we all feeling about flow diagrams, going back and forth about flow diagrams? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down in reactions or in the chat. If you have a thumbs down, then raise your hand and ask a specific question and I will help you. Okay. Wonderful. So far, I see thumbs up. No, don't be shy. Okay. Raise your hand and I'll be able to help you. Novoyo, let's hear what Novoyo has to say. Yes, Novoyo.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, can you please ma'am re-explain how you got then the answer to F and G, ma'am?
Okay. Let me look for space. First things first is I need space over here so that I can explain it again. Let me move this dude over there and this dude over there. Okay. So we're doing the opposite, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we had input, where did we substitute?
Ma'am, by the output, ma'am.
No. But look at our formula over here. When we were given the input, which variable did we substitute in?
Oh, ma'am, X.
X. But this time they give us your output. So you can't substitute an X because that's not what you are inserting. This time, where do we substitute? You said our input is X and our output is Y. So where do we substitute?
Y.
Why? Because they gave us what it is, right? So you say 243. You know it's 243 because they told you it's 243. Do you see it there?
Yes, ma'am.
Equals 3x squared. And now we have to solve for x. Do you remember how to solve for x? Let's see. So first, we have to get rid of a times by 3. What's our inverse operation for multiplication?
Right.
It is?
Division.
Division. So you divide by 3 to get rid of this 3. See, they're going to cancel out 1 and 1. Or what you do on the right, you have to go and do on the left. So then you're going to have 243 divided by 3, which is 81 is equal to x squared. So far, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So now I like swapping them around. Maybe I'll feel better about it. So now we're still working with inverse operations. What is the inverse of square?
Ma'am, the square root.
Square root. So we're going to square root on this side to get rid of our square. What you do on the left, you do on the right. So these two will cancel out each other. You'll be left with x. And what is our square root of 81?
9.
9. Do you see how I got that?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
There we go. I hope you feel better. You can practice G on your own, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. Okay, guys. You're welcome. Are we ready for a brain break quickly before we get back to this? Here's our first one. If you plant sunflower seeds in your garden, every day the number of flowers doubles. If it takes 52 days for the flowers to full, how many will it take to be half? Ooh. If it takes 52 days to be full, how many days did it take to be half? Oratile, do you have an answer for us?
Yes, ma'am.
How many days will it take?
26 days, ma'am.
Think about it carefully, Oratile. Remember,
Ma'am,
it doubles every day.
oh, I am
Yay,
lost. ma'am.
check Nsuku has an answer for us. Okay, I don't know. Someone said scroll up. Where are we scrolling? Zasembo, please tell me exactly where you're scrolling. See, it takes 51 days because if it needs to be full, that means yesterday it was half. It doubles, right?
Oh, okay. Now I get. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're welcome. Okay. I'm not sure when Nsuku wanted me to. Okay. The math is starting to math. Yes, it is, Chichi. Yes, it is. So it will take 51 days because yesterday. Okay, no problem. So it will take 51 days, okay? Because the previous day it was half. Next, multiply all the numbers on the number pad of a cell phone. What is the total? What do you guys think the total will be? If you multiply, guys, remember we don't engage with each other. We are keeping the chat lesson related. Kamukhana says 100, Tsuku says 0. What does everybody else say? Chichi says 0. Oyama says 0. Where do we get 0? Yes, guys, because after multiplying all of that, you're going to end up with times 0 and it's going to kill all your answers. Imagine you're going to be like 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 times 8 times 9. And then you're going to say times 0. So then your answer is going to go right back to 0. Nice, guys. That's beautiful. Let's do the last one. Tom was asked to paint numbers outside 100 apartments, which means he will have to paint from numbers 1 through to 100. How many times will he have to paint the number 8? How many times? Amasha says once. Tuku says 9 times. Chichi says once. 9, once, twice. Let's check how many times he has to paint the number 8. So it's going to be 8, 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98. And that's it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times, guys.
But
'Cause it's
no.
once. How many is it?
What about 80 and 81 and 82?
Oh, there's way more. 80, 81. Oh, Simona's, I'll say there. 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. Okay, 87, 88. We already have 89. Okay, let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I feel like I missed one. Is that all of them? 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. And it's 90, isn't it? Huh. Chichi already wants to ditch me because of a brain break. Hey, it's tough in the building. It's tough, guys. It's tough in the building. But there's 8, isn't it? And then 18 and 28, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 81. Hi guys, it's fine. I'm tired, but that was the point. That was the point. Chichi wants to teach me. It's fine. There's 98 over the hour, guys. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. The whole class is already agreeing with you. It's too late, Chichi. It's too late. It's fine. I'm about to get my revenge. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, let's do a different view of flow diagram. I'm kidding, guys. Let's do a different view of flow diagrams, okay? I know you guys all don't like me, it's fine. This time we have to fill in the relationship into those two blocks and then choose our own inputs and outputs, okay? So, i.e. 0,2x means what? What does 0,2x mean, Oyama? Oyama. Okay. Oratile.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
And can I please ask a question, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
So, ma'am, if they give us the sum like this, ma'am, can they mark us wrong?
No, technically not.
Okay.
As long as your outputs really do correspond with your inputs.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
what is, there we go. Guys in the chat, what does 0,2x mean? Yes, Eddie. No? Okay, Eddie just vanished. Okay, guys, it means times 0,2, right? Means whatever we're going to input on this side, we're going to have to multiply by 0,2. And then after that, we have to add 1,4. So let's pick a few inputs and see what we get. Give me a few inputs in the chat. Someone said a 4. Okay, we're going to use 4. I think I'm also going to be a little bit spicy over here and give us an output. Let's see, 0,2, 1,2. Ooh, that's a nice one. If my output is -1, I want you guys to tell me what the input was. So if we have an input of 4, no, I haven't. Okay, I saw a 6 and a 7 and a 15. And Oratile and Chichi are the reason we're going to cry as teachers when we are marking, because they want us to substitute -111 and -87 and a 7. I can't believe this. Yeah. Okay, let's start with number 4. Let's name these A, B, C, D, E. Tell me what the answer for A is. Tell me what my answer. It's okay if you have to go somewhere urgently. Okay, just watch the recording when it's on the website. Otenda says it's 2,2. Okay, so for A, we're gonna have 0,2 times 4 plus 1,4. Okay, how much is 0,2 times 4? Let's check. I'm not sure why I'm doing this in the dark when we have lights. Imagine, guys, 0,2 times 4 is 0,8. We're gonna add 1,4, and that's gonna give us 2,2. I hope so, and I believe, yes, it is. Okay, so we have A. Chichi is out to get me today, but it's fine. With B, we're gonna have to do the opposite. So guys, this type of flow diagram is easy because you can see the inverse operation easily, right? So we start at -1. Now we're going the other way. So instead of adding 1,4, we're gonna subtract 1,4, right? And then instead of timesing by 0,2, we're gonna divide by 0,2. So we're gonna be doing the opposite of what we were doing going forward. So it's gonna be that divided by 0,2. And how much is that? So B equals, how much is that? -8, -12. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. Let's see, -1 minus 1,4 divided by 0,2, and it is -12. So our B is going to be -12. How did we get -8, guys? Remember to do BODMAS, okay? You first subtract 1,4 and then you divide. I am so glad, Rosemary. I am very flattered and I'm gonna sleep tonight with a very big smile on my face. Okay, so it's -12. Okay, guys? And then what's C? Does anyone have an answer for C? Let's see. C is gonna be equal to 0,2 times Chichi's number or someone plus 1,4, and that is how much? I see a hand that is raised. Tando, do you have an answer? Or do you need to ask a question?
Ma'am, it's a question.
Okay, let's hear.
So ma'am, it's a question on B. So the answer apparently, you guys say that it's 12, right? It's -12. So, but ma'am, when I did the calculations, I keep on getting -8.
Okay, let's see. How do you do the calculation? Do you first say -1 minus 1,4?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you get when you did that? Press equals.
-4. Ma'am, I get -2,4.
And then say divided by 0,2.
Ma'am, I think there's something with my I think I calculated wrong.
It's BODMAS. That's why I say when you're doing it the other way, be careful, okay? If
Yes,
you're gonna
ma'am.
do it in one step on your calculator, then make sure you add brackets. So you
Okay,
add
ma'am.
brackets around the -1 and the negative. Otherwise, it's first going to divide -1,4 because
Yes,
BODMAS
ma'am.
says you must first divide. You see why?
Okay, ma'am.
There we go. Okay. Oratile, is it no? Is it an answer, Oratile?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's hear.
Should I answer for C, ma'am?
Yes.
I got -20,8.
-20,8. And I see a lot of people in the chat have gotten that as well. So it must be correct. Let's move on to D. What do we have for D?
For D, ma'am, I got
0.2. How much?
times negative 87 plus 1.4. Got negative 16, ma'am.
Negative 16. Oh, Chichi chose that one for us. It's nice and a rounded number. Thanks, Oratile.
And then, ma'am, for E, ma'am, I got 2.8.
Okay, so E is 0.2 times 7 plus 1.4, and you said you got 2.8.
Yes, ma'am.
There we go, guys. See?
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
these flow diagrams are easier when you write them this way because you can see the inverse operations clearly. Okay, you go backwards and you just do the inverse operation. I think we have time to do maybe one more, at least one more. Oh, I like decimals today. I don't know what's going on. There we go. So in this case, what are we doing? You either say times a half or divided by 2. That's up to you. Plus 2. Okay, let's choose our inputs. Let's choose our inputs. I am going to choose a random output of 20 and one of negative 17, just because I can. Now let's see. So we're going to have to work out A, B, C, and where's D? 1, 2, 3, D. And at the bottom, E. Now let's choose some random inputs. Where did I forget my brackets? Chichi's giving me heart palpitations. Where did I forget?
Ma'am, go scroll back up a bit, ma'am.
Oh, there.
Like,
It's because it's
yes.
already business. We
No,
always
ma'am,
multiply.
by D. Yeah, there.
Yeah,
So
but we always
confuse me.
multiply before we add anyway, remember?
Yeah, but ma'am, but at least so other people could know. I'm trying to help out.
It's my brackets.
Yes, they are.
Here we go. That's fine. Give me a random input, Chichi.
Random input, ma'am. Everyone is saying 11 in the chat, so I'm gonna go for 11.
Let's go with 11. Okay, let's see. Other inputs, I saw 14, I saw 6. Okay, let's work out. A, B, C, D, E. Fire round. Once you have an answer, pop it in the chat. Let's see, but you must first put the letter, ne? So put the letter B like A, 20, B, 50, C, this and that. We're doing a fire round now. Let's see. Okay. A is gonna be a half times 11 plus 2. B is going to be a half times 14 plus 2. Where's C? Oh, it's down there. It's going to be a half times 6 plus 2. Oh, I almost forgot my brackets. Teacher's going to kill me. D, where's D? D, this time starting from 20 minus 2. We're going the opposite way, divided by a half. And E is also going to be negative 17 minus 2 divided by a half. Let's see if we have the correct answers. I saw hands go up. Let's hear what everyone has to say. Tukelo. Nope. Okay. Tukelo's not saying anything. Oyama.
Hello.
There we go. Hello.
Tukelo is still doing the first sum, the B. He doesn't understand how you got the minus 12. So I need you to explain to him the B sum, minus 1 minus 1,4 divided by 0,2. How did you get to minus 12?
Okay. So Tukelo, look carefully. So when we're going forward in this flow diagram, we first multiply by 0,2 And then we add 1,4, right? That's going forward. Let me draw the forward arrow.
Yes, ma'am.
But now we are starting on the left side, right? We're starting with -1, so we have to go backwards, okay? So when we were going forward, we first had to multiply. Now that we're going backwards, we're first gonna have to subtract 1,4. We're doing inverse operations, which is the opposite, okay? So instead of adding 1,4, when you go backwards, you subtract 1,4. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
And then after that, instead of timesing 0,2, we're going to, what's the opposite of times?
Positive.
The opposite of
Division.
multiplication. There we go. We're going to divide by 0,2. So you start where we were. We were at -1, right?
Yes.
So we're going to say -1 minus 1,4 because we're going backwards. There's our -1,4. Then divided by 0,2. And if you do that, you'll see that your answer will be -12. But Dukelo, must remember about math, snap.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we have to put brackets so that you first subtract before you divide. If you don't put brackets, your answer is going to be wrong. You get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. Are we feeling better? I hope so.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Here we
you.
go. You're welcome. Okay, so let's try these ones at the bottom. Now that we understand inverses, same way with 20. If we're gonna start on the left, on the right, excuse me, with our output, instead of +2, we're gonna -2 because we're gonna be going that way. And instead of timesing by a half, we're gonna divide by a half because we're going that way. Okay, let's see my fire round. So everyone say the first one is 7,5. Indeed, it is 7,5 because a half of 11 is 5 plus 2 is 7,5. And then we have a half of 14, which is 7 plus 2, which is 9. A half of 6 is 3 plus 2 is 5. And now we're doing that inverse thing, right, guys? 20 minus 2 is 18. And then if you divide it by a half, dividing by a half is the same as timesing by 2. So this will be 36. Here again, -17 minus 2, it's going to give you -19. And if you divide by 0,5, that is -38. I'm sorry I rushed through this, guys, but I wanted us to have the correct answers and do the poll as our lesson is over. Whoever wins gets bracket. Guys, stop harassing me about the brackets. Oh my goodness. World War Chichi versus Miss Cats. No ways, guys. I don't fight. I'm all about love and peace and happiness. Your happiness. We're done, Mulebocheng. Don't worry. Good night, guys. Thank you for coming through. Let's see. Kuliso has a question. Yes, Kuliso.
Ma'am, can you please re-explain number E? I think it's E. Yes. E, yes.
Remember, we're starting on the right. So we're going backwards, right?
Yes.
So instead of plussing to, what's the opposite of plussing? If we're going in the opposite direction, we have to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of adding?
Okay, so that's the part I didn't quite catch. The part of going on reverse formation. Yeah.
Yes, because we're starting on the right this time. Do you see that?
Yes,
So
I now see it.
There we go. I'm glad you see it.
Yes, thank you.
Hi,
I think this is my favorite thing on math now because I really understand it now.